Okay. That's how, which is hello everyone and good evening. We are here at the Shanghai International Circuit for race 10 of the Cone Racing Academy. Cone Racing League Academy race. There is 28 laps that we're going to see today, 16 turns over 5.4 kilometres of track. That's 3.3 miles. And I am, to tell you a little bit more about the track, I'm very happy to say he is here once again, Mr. the one and only Mr. Stanschlag. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, Pheasant. I'm doing amazing. Hope you're fine as well, mate. I hope you had an amazing Christmas and everyone else as well. Welcome back after 2 weeks break. We are finally back for some Formula 1 racing. We're gonna start the CRL season off with the Academy in China, the country that produces a lot and has never been disappointing with the global export, as well as in the year 2020. But let's go to the Formula 1 track. What do we know so far? The track has been built in the Jiading district in Shanghai in April 2003 and started the first Grand Prix in 2004. It was built for 450 million US dollars. Very, very expensive track. Very, very interesting, and also very interesting to see that the track from above looks like the Chinese symbol Shang, which means upwards. So every single driver on track are thinking upwards for the victory here. Pole position in qualifying. Who are you following, Pheasant?
Nice. Thank you very much for that. I'm on board currently with Tomo Tip-Top. He's just about to start his first lap. So we'll talk you through a little bit of this first track. The first corner, as we all will probably know, is a long sweeping right-hander. 1 and 2 really hard to control the car around these two corners. Very, very slippy, especially with a lot of cars around there. Sweeping into turn 3. Again, another slippy corner. It's so easy on the throttle getting up to speed out of turn 4. Very fast turn 5, coming to the end of sector 1 into sector 2. Hard on the brakes into turn 6. And then we have these long sweeping turns of 7, 8 before that spoon-shaped 9 and 10. We'll come up to them in just a moment. Decent lap from Tomo Tip-Top. We'll talk a little bit about where he came last week. He's a little bit cautious on the turn there, and as he has a right to be, takes a little bit of the corner, which is good. Strip the gears as hard as you can, and comes into sector 3. Sharp turn 11, and then this again, long and sweeping, been used on several occasions already. He's held it well. Took the inside line of 13, and foot to the floor. Out of 13, a lot of pressure on that front left tyre, high on the degradation of the tyres. We shall see if that plays a part in the strategy today. He's hit the DRS going towards turn 14, very, very sharp. Right-hander, takes the hairpin right. There's a turn 15, which is we've already passed. It's like a double turn, but almost miss it if you blink. Turn 16 to finish us off, and flat out to finish the lap with a DRS open, and sets our first time of 1:31.2. Who else is out and about there at the moment setting 1?
I think Sprunky is just about to start his lap, and yes, he is. Let's watch him for a little while. He went very deep on the exit of the last turn, but one of the toughest turns on the track, the first and second turn here. Usually you are able to take the turn with just a little bit of braking and just slowly turning in, but very, very nice here to see from Sprunky, and approaching a heavy braking zone, braking around 100 meter, let the car roll as long as possible and have a fast exit here. Very interesting, and we weren't able to find any turn names. Ooh, that was very, very close as well from the Renault. I'm not too sure who it was. I think it was Melvin, but well avoided from both drivers. Tricky one as well. This is my favorite turn to spin out in a race and in qualifying as well. A tough left up and preparing for a long straight here. Very hard. He's going very, very wide, trying to get a fast exit, and it looks good. It looks good. He gets a little bit of slipstream as well, a little bit on the car in front, but not too much. I think it looks like a Williams in front of him.
Yeah.
But approaching here at 100-meter board, braking point, trying to be as close as possible to the insert curb, having not a wide exit, and here you can really cut the last turn on your wheel left and accelerating earlier. Let's see what his lap time will be in a 32.5. Not too bad for the first attempts here in China.
So going to jump on board with Kogataz. He's set a purple sector in Sector 2. Would we be seeing the fastest lap of the race? Lynx Aviators just took it. He's just jumped into the pits. He's 1:31.1. It's a good time. Let's just see if Kogataz can beat it. A little bit as we watch the drivers come around. Oh, there's been a DSQ, CRA and Big Ben. Oh no, I didn't see what happened with Big Ben, but that is tragic for him. He's second in the championship, only 8 points behind Warrior Huntsman. Coming up to tonight's race 10, that could be costly for him. That is very, very disappointing. Kogataz, he has.
Yeah.
He's gone pole. He's gone 1:30.9. I think anything under 1:31 is a good time. I think that'll get beat, if I'm being honest, whether it's Kogataz himself. But I think there's lower out on that track today. A nice warm day for the qualifying and still a bit of time to get that track acclimatisation up. I'm going to have a little jump on board with someone else. Let's have a little look. We won't look at Warrior. He is in the pits. Who can we watch?
Let's have a look. Murphy. I think Sprunk is going in as well. Murphy, yes.
Yep, Murphy's on an out lap. He is with the pink of the Racing Point. So tonight, just to call the shots as they are already, McLaren has Dat Roland and Michi Joy. Racing Point has Murphy and MUFC Harvey. The Mercedes have Jack DNF or Dumpf and Piero 987. Ferrari have just Sprunky here this evening, as one of their drivers couldn't be with us. Yeah, that's right. So Renault with the Shadow of Moody, Lynx Aviate, Alfa Romeo's Kierant and Kogataz, Haas of Big Ben and Matt Warner, Red Bulls Melvin and Tomo Tiptop, the Williams of McConey and Van Gogh Verdon, who in fact couldn't be here this evening. He is absent. The Alpha Touries of Warrior Huntsman and Crash Gaming. Still on board with Murph, who's currently on a lap, or is he just starting a lap? He might.
He's starting right now.
Just starting right now.
He's starting now. Yes.
Stay on board with him a second. See what he can do.
Yeah, let's have a look. The first two turns always very, very tricky. He has a very strong braking here, maybe losing a little bit of time, but it's all about the exit, preparing the exit here, because they have a longer straight here in front of the next heavy braking zone. As we had, did we just have another disqualification, or there was something else? But we'll have a look into this in a second. As he's approaching along left turn, slowing down as well for this turn. It looks like he's struggling a little bit, but he can still find the time. Very, very tricky turns here. You need to really connect the two turns. Oh, that was very close off from an invalidation of his lap. Murphy, that was very close. Not touching the curb, being cautious.
He's back. Dat Roland was actually, sorry to interrupt, it was Dat Roland who left the session, but we can see that he's rejoined the session. He is in the pits currently, so hopefully he can dive out. There's still 8 minutes to go, so probably a couple of runs still on the menu. Just to talk a little bit about the championship, I mentioned it there before. Warrior Huntsman is currently leading.
Let's just have a quick look at the end of Murphy's lap. I think he's to finish his lap time before we go into the championship point. He's just approaching the last turn. Let's see about his time activating DRS, and his time is going to be a 32.5 P7. This is P6 and P7 for the pink Mercedes. Very close together. Very close.
Not bad.
Sorry, you can go ahead.
Oh, thank you. the championship, as it stands, looks with about Warrior Huntsman. He has 129 points. Big Ben, or BX37 Pro, as you can see, in 18th spot. Unfortunately for him, he is second position currently with 121, very close to Warrior Huntsman. Kogataz follows them up in 84 points. Dat Roland, who we've just seen have some connection issues. Not to forget that Dat Roland had some connection issues also last week after qualifying. I think he qualified quite high last week, week, but had problems early doors, and that messed his race up. McConey, after that Roland with 77 points. It's close between Tomo Tip Top with 73, CRA Round with 72, Sprunky with 67, and then a big drop for Piero and Immortal Viking, who is no longer with us, unfortunately. Not dead, by the way, sorry, I've probably said that the wrong way. He doesn't race with us anymore. So, okay, we are on board with Warrior Huntsman. He's coming up to start a fresh lap. He's coming up to turns 14, which is the tight hairpin at the back end of sector 3. Fast left hand corner, trying to take a little bit of that curb to try and keep as much pace as possible without going over that red and white line on the right hand side of that exit, as we see him past the start line. Let's see how he can get on. Further to the championships, it's probably worth mentioning the constructors at this point of the season. We are on race 10 with one race to go after. Is that right? One race? Yeah, one race to go.
Yes.
After tonight. So everything to play for. Alpha Tori is currently winning everything, 418 points. Warrior Huntsman, of course, probably having a good say in quite a few of them as well. Ferrari, 373 in second place. Alfa Romeo follow them with 332, 327. And 252 of Alfa Romeo, McLaren and Racing Point, with Haas behind them further still. I know someone specifically who could have done a lot better for Haas, and probably should, while on stream apologised to his fellow drivers. It's not been my season. So, how is he looking as we come around?
Yes, I was looking at the Moody Shadow, or Shadow Moody, as he completed his lap time. He jumped all the way to P5 with 31.6. So we have two Renaults in third and fifth place. Just having a quick look where Renault is at the moment. They're struggling a little bit. However, really good performance for both drivers here so far in China, and one of the toughest tracks, in my opinion, to pick up the lap time. As Stradamude just jumped down by a position by Boris Huntsman, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was. Boris Huntsman now on P5 in 31.3. 5 minutes to go, qualifying. We still have many cars in the pit lane. Let's see what people can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see who else we can have a little look at. Who's about to start a lap?
Is there a Haas? Matt is starting his lap time.
Matt, where is he?
Just
Matt,
P14 so far.
Come and have a little look at Matt. He is riding for Haas this evening. Something to mention about that, actually, Reverend Melvin in the Red Bull, he covered for Matt Warner in Canada, our last race, in round 9, but he's now in the Red Bull for Assault King, so he'll be a regular feature, hopefully, for the Red Bull now. See Matt Warner maybe be a little bit cautious heading into sector 2, around turn 7 and 8, a little bit sharper, and sort of 8 and 9 and 10. Sorry, they seem to be sort of one. It's like one long turn if you can get it right. You sort of hug the outside and then come back onto the apex on the inside. You can sort of do it in one smooth motion. If you know, some people like to go a little bit deeper depending on the setup, but it is doable to take that, you know, nice and smooth if the conditions obviously suit as well. It obviously does help the fact that the sun's out. However, Matt has made a couple of little slip-ups here, and I'm not sure he's too happy with his lap. I'm not entirely sure he's even still racing it.
I'm not sure. Melvin is just behind him as well. Matt might gonna slow down, as it looked like he was a bit far on the inside. But Melvin took the 9 and 10 turn, I think it is. It is really nice. He really connected both turns, went a little bit deep on the outside. Yeah, Matt went actually inside to the pit lane, and Melvin on P12 currently in the Red Bull is about to finish his lap time. Was able to improve by 3 positions up to a 1:32.4, and he was able to really hook up the 9 and 10 turn. That was beautiful to watch. Unfortunately, not enough for him for top 5. Here depends if you want to do another lap, but doesn't look like it.
Right, okay.
Who else is out? We
just,
have top 3 all out.
Yep, I'm just looking at Tomo Tip Top now. I'm just on board with him. He's just passing the line to go on his hot lap. He is flat out up the straight. See if he can improve to take up the first place. Oddly enough, last round 9, the qualifiers was in first position. Kogataz in second position. Tomo Tip Top. So they've restated back their positions of 1-2 in the quali if it stays this way. Sprunky was third in the qualifying last week, and he's also out on his out lap. He's currently sitting in P10 with a 1:32.5. We will see whether or not he can improve. There's been a purple sector though, so we have just seen.
Dead Roland is. Wait, he just disappeared on my screen in front of him. Sorry, I was confused. There was Dead Roland in front of Tip Top. But Tip Top is really, really fast on his current lap at the moment. He did purple first sector. Maybe got a little bit distracted here from the car. Maybe he had the same. I don't know what that was, but I did see a McLaren straight in front of him with a disconnecting sign. But more importantly, getting the fast exit here for long straight. You can lose and gain a lot of time there. Activating DRS on time. Tomo Tip Top just 2 turns away of maybe improving up to P1. Very beautiful. Cuts the curb on the inside and right hand side and accelerating early. Trying to cut the left curb again, just a little touch here, activating DRS over the finish line, and he gets the pole position. Tomo Tip Top at 30.6 pole position. But Kutos actually responded. He responded at 1:36.04. Kutos, what a response! Strong racing from both drivers. So extremely close. 400s, no, 4,000s. My bad.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 400, isn't it?
No, it's hundreds. Thousands is the last one.
Yeah, thousands. Yeah. So anyway, it was close. It's a pretty quick clap if you do 2 of them. So that's pretty decent. Just had a little look on board with Lynx Aviator to see whether or not he had anything else that he could put on. He can't improve his position from P3. I did think that there'd be a 1:30.5. I have to say, I thought someone would have got to 1:30.5 in these conditions. It's still to play for. There is still people out on track. Jack is in a lap currently. He's done well to get himself into P4. Murphy's jumped up into P6 on his out lap. I'm pretty sure I saw Piero also go into P9 and jump up. Reverend Melvin has finished. Crash Gaming has finished. Unfortunate for him, he couldn't set a lap today. Let's have a look. Matt 1. Matt 1 is still in a lap. We're just on board with Jack just to see what he can do. There seems to be a few yellow flags popping around the circuit.
That's alright, it was just in Sector 1, nothing important for Jack. Jack has 2 cars in front of him. Kutas is going into the pit lane right now. Hopefully he doesn't get too much dirty air. As another car just dived down on the last turn, and Jack was too wide.
Jack.
Lost a lot of time there.
He doesn't actually invalidate his lap, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
Didn't really matter too much. He still improved by 2 tenths, but unfortunately not enough time for him here. Very, very close. Top 5. Well done, Jack. Still, everything is possible in the race. Who is still out on a track?
Warrior's done.
Lynx, Dutch Roland, is he still on a lap? I think he is. Yeah. Pre-ultimate turn.
Is he happy or not? He is. He's taking the turn, so he's gone for it. What will he get?
Let's see what his time is going to be, and he wasn't able to improve. Was he? No.
He wasn't.
He's P9.
It didn't come up as he passed the line with the end of the session flag, which is a bit worrying because he's had a few connection issues already, Dat Roland, and you've seen him. I think he might have been the McLaren you saw him wobbling around a little bit, so we'll see what happens there. Hopefully that doesn't disrupt the session because everybody else is finished. So we have
invalidation for Dead Roland, but I didn't see it on the screen, so hopefully
it'll sort itself out. Hopefully itself. So we are done. We're done. There's nobody else out on track apart from Dat Roland. But other than that, we've just got people coming in. So Kogataz is going to be our P1 on Tomo Tip Top, so exactly the same as Canada in P2. 400ths difference between 1 and 2. Lynx Aviate in P3, well done him. He returns for Renault. Jack DNF is anything but today. He is doing himself proud in the Mercedes. He's put himself into P4. Warrior Huntsman, the current market leader, he just sits behind him in, I think it was 5th before it disappeared off. We'll just have a little look again.
Yes,
in a
he
moment.
did. Yeah, he did. He's 5th.
He is 5th. 6th for Murphy in the Racing Point. McConey takes it P7 in the Williams. Shadow Moody follows him in the Renault with Dat Roland. And Piero 997 in the Merc also. So 2 Mercedes in the top, 2 Renaults in the top 10. The rest lonesomes. So should be an interesting race. We have, as we know, this race and 1 more to go. Which is it Yas Marina?
I'm not 100% sure, but I will have a look into that in a second. However, I would like to take a moment after this interesting, very, very close qualifying session in China here for Kotas and Tomo Tip Top. Welcome to all 13 viewers on YouTube as well. I'm having one eye as well on the chat as well. I would like to welcome everyone there, whoever has been texting. For example, Connor, who's cheering for Warriors Huntsman. Hopefully he has a good qualifying, which he did.
Yes,
well done to him. Dragon as well is very excited to have CRL back. Absolute amazing. Jack had a very was struggling a little bit on the last turn, but he is racing without ABS. Very, very challenging and hard decision as well for him. We have also Harvey, who is cheering for McConey. So we have from every single different. We need an invite for that, Roland. I'm going to do this straight away,
please,
as we speak, and you take it away.
I will. So what I didn't mention there is strategy. So we're just about to see them come out and do their formation lap. So I'll talk a little bit about the strategy. Earlier on, I'd done a few laps, so don't take it as completely 100%, because every driver is a little bit different. But you can go strategies of soft, hard. I think soft medium's too big of an ask around here, just because of the high position of Tiger degradation in turns 1, 2, and 12 and 13. Especially because it's always one side of that 12 and 13. So much, as I say, on that front left tyre, you might just find that there's a little bit too much wear there to keep the car balanced. So you're looking at a soft hard strategy most likely. If you're looking at that, it's about 6 laps on the softs and around 22 laps on the hards, for of course 28 laps in total. You could also try a soft medium if you fancy going for that little bit more pace, but the difference between the 2 laps is questionable. We've just seen a disqualification with Crash Gaming and Kirant. That probably tells us that there's been a connection or a contact at the back of the field, and unfortunately any contact whatsoever in the formation lap will put you back on the grid. That can be a big problem, being back on the grid. Your tyres are going to be cold. That front, that first turn, long sweeping right-hander with other cars on the track, all the fuel in the car, that could cause problems. Hopefully we can keep it nice and safe, because that is a big few turns. Certainly after Turn 5, I think, is the most interesting one at the end of Sector 1. Just as you enter Sector 2, flat-out right-hander going downhill into Turn 6, which is a pretty sharp right-hander, around 90 degrees, which is going to be... it's going to be a tricky one with full fuel loads. It'll be very, very interesting. With a lot of cars on the track, hopefully they can all get their braking right today. So soft, medium, you're looking at about 5 laps on the softs, medium, maybe 12 laps each, 12, 11, or 11, 12, or medium, soft, medium, etc. Then you start going into the variance of what you could be looking at in the race. But softs, without a doubt, being the fastest. Dat Roland has left the session again. Has he had another invite?
Yeah, he did. I did send him a couple of invites already. Just a question for him of joining at the right time. I think otherwise we would have a small glitch. We're just waiting for the formation lap to be over, and there he is. He's joining right now the session as well, as all the cars are about to line up on the grid. Very, very exciting. Turn 1, always China, heavy braking zone after a decent long straight. It's not the longest straight after the racing start, but always exciting to see different approaches for turn 1 and 2 combined as well for the strategies.
I think what we'll do for this, they're just about to go around on the formation lap, but before they do, I think we're going to jump, when they do start, I think we'll probably jump on board with Warrior Huntsman. I'm going to show you this view this evening, our current race leader. It is a formation lap, isn't it?
Now it's the start.
It's the start. Of course it is. The 5 lights have gone off. There's been a jump start. There's a drive-through penalty already for Kieran. Sorry, I got all confused for a second looking at the screen as I'd been looking down. And Kogatas, what a start, by the way. He is absolutely flying. Lynx has... Ooh, is he struggling? There's a lot of cars. We see a racing point on the far left-hand side. That could be Murphy. It's gone really deep. He seems to have lost a few spots and gone down into 11th position. We are currently still sat on board with Lynx Xavier. He has sat himself into 4th position. We'll have a little look on the... position change to see who has moved currently. As you can see on the left hand side, sometimes we do have a problem with the board. It looks just about right at the moment. I'm going to try and see if we can get interval between 2 people. You see there's fights going on all over the track at the moment. Lynx Xavier on the inside. Warrior Huntsman has a good look at him, gets on the inside, going into... Oh, he doesn't go into Lynx, thankfully. He has held the position. That's a lovely take by Warrior. I'm going to jump up on board with Shadow Moody, who's in 4th position, and have a little look outside the car and just see just the bedlam that is the first few corners of China. Let me just try and get things back on the screen. My apologies, I don't know what I've pressed. Here we go. Are you still there, Steiny?
Yes, yeah, I am. I was just a bit concerned about Dead Roland. He has seemed to have some more issues as well. He's just joining back. Had to send him a few invites. Unfortunately, I missed the race start, but looks very exciting already. A few position changes here.
That's so unfortunate. So unfortunate. So we are just seeing there that Lynx Xavier has dropped a position. He's alongside the other Renault. So that would have been Shadow Moody who has gone in front of him going down the straight. They're all following each other. We're going to have a little bit look further up. Kogatas has a brilliant launch. Great start for Jack in the Mercedes. He's jumped into up near half a second behind the race lead now as the board has a little bit of a fit. It will come back in a second. Tomo Tip Top up there with the top 3. They seem to be getting away a little bit. As the board is now starting to dance around a little bit, but Warrior Huntsman isn't in the top. He is currently running in 4th position. We've jumped down. Please forgive us just a moment while the board
Isn't it nice to see that every single driver has a chance of being on the top as well on the scoreboard? However, it is not always very accurate, but don't we love the Formula 1 game?
It is one absolute fantastic thing. It seems that everybody's been really, really cautious. There's a lot of looping turns. It's all about getting your braking right for me and getting the acceleration right, as we're on board with MFC Harvey that looked like he just took a little bit out of the back of Lynx Xavier there, broke maybe a little bit harder. It looked like he'd connected, but there's certainly no damage at the front, and all 3 of them get bunched right up as McConey sees an opportunity down the inside, and he has a double take, and is he going to get retaken? No, he isn't. You just see the back end of Kieran throw itself out just a little bit there, and that turn is exactly what I meant in turn 13. So much pressure on the front left as we see MFC Harvey going in front once again. He passes.
Ooh, Harvey late braking. Oh wow, there's so much action going on. Harvey broke later than McConey, went on his inside and overtook him. Kieran now behind McConey, but Lynx lost 2 positions here at the same. He has some damage, I assume. He's diving into the pit lane. Very unfortunate for him. He might need to go onto the hard compound tire, but very, very close racing here in a lap 1-2 as well. Harvey and Kieran are going side by side, and to turn 2 a slight touch but no further damage. Makoni and Ben all very, very close here. Amazing racing in China already, but it's not over yet. Makoni has to defend. He's going around the outside. Ben is on the inside. Wow, I can't even talk. I can't find words. There's so much action going on there. Ben was able to go around the inside of Makoni. Wow, so much going on, and everything hell, thanks to Kuhn. I just heard something. That was Harvey. Yeah, Harvey spun. He went into the sidewall.
Oh no.
Very unlucky for him.
Indeed. So just on board with Marconi currently has a little look at Bex, and oh, there's a bit of contact. Nearly spanned Big Ben, but he was pretty much stopped by the time there was contact there. Big Ben just braking that little bit harder. Marconi trying to carry a little bit more speed through, and he's opened back up 0.8 of a second, but he'll have the DRS, and we'll stay on board with him a second to see if he is going to take advantage of that and get past Big Ben. I feel like the straight's maybe going to run out of space by the time he gets down there. And I think I'm going to be right in this occasion. He's probably better off hanging fire. Definitely not on there currently. We see a little bit of a change in position there. There's Pierrot in behind him in 11th, and Michi Joy. Where is he? Just on the inside there, in behind, and he's not got a great launch out of there. Lost a little bit of traction, and Pierrot manages to pull back forward. There's some movement in front of us though. Kieran has jumped into the pits. He's not happy with the grip that he's getting after 4 laps. That potentially could be a little knock early doors.
He's changing on the hard tyre now.
Is he?
I just saw the pit window opening as well for the hard tires, so Kieran is very likely to go on a hard tire here until the end of the race. Very, very interesting choice. But let's have a look at top 3 as well. We have Kutas again dominating the race on P1. He has a 2.2 seconds lead now to Jack, DNF, and Tomo Tiptop just behind on P3. Is Tomo Tiptop able to close the gap down to the DRS second? That one very, very important second that he needs, and it does look like he really needs to push. It is just on the seconds, but he can't get in. He's losing some more time as well for the exit. I'm not too sure. I don't think he has the DRS for this zone. No, he doesn't.
No. I didn't think he had it when entering the DRS zone. He is certainly close enough to get a little bit of downforce, a little bit of slipstream, and might gain a little bit of time, as he has done, but it's very marginal. But he's still now within that second. So Tomo Tiptop now got his eyes on Jack, who again he does go wide on that corner. Jack, we've seen on a couple of occasions. It might be the setup, might have gone for a little bit more speed, but we're going to stay on board with Tomo Tiptop. There's had a little bit of a look at Jack here on the inside of the turn, hugged in really tight. Jack's give plenty of room and respectful. He's gone a little bit deep, and that's stopped Jack from turning on the inside of the apex. Jack, great little bit of drive, and that's going to be hard to get traction from there. Oh, they both
that was
there.
So close, Jack.
Wow.
Jack almost lost it. He caught the car. Very well done. What a reaction, Jack. That was so close.
I lost the sound in my headphones as well. It went completely silent, and there was nothing that came out at the end. It was like Cool Runnings. Do you remember Cool Runnings? Like go around the corner and they don't come out the tunnel.
Yeah.
That was exactly what I thought was happening there. That someone had gone.
Perfect timing.
But yeah, that's good. Jack still is now following Tomo Tiptop, who gets himself into second position. Again, 1-2 last week, 1-2 this week. They are absolutely flying, these two, and showing what they are made of. But Jack, fair play with him, he's still up there fighting for his position. Currently sat on a podium and over 4 seconds with Shadow Moody in behind. Further down the pitch, further down the track, we are just having a little look at Pierrot, who's got a little bit of a view of Murphy. Now, Pierrot and Murphy, of course, were they in the same team last season? Pierrot and Murphy, I can't remember if they were or they weren't. But the... no, I don't think they were, actually. I don't think they were. I feel like they were together for something. Yeah, I'm not sure it was the... Who knows? Who knows? Answers on a postcard if anybody knows the actual answer to that one. But we are still on board with Pierrot, who gets in front of Murphy, tucks the car back in front of him for the hairpin of turn number 14. Just about to start their new lap. 6 laps through of 18. There is a yellow flag on sector 3.
28.
And it looks like it is Michi Joy. He has took a spin, and that's going to cost him, and he's still spinning. But he needs to get himself back, concentrating quickly.
Oh my god, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but did Roland almost touch the entry, the wall on the right hand side on the pit entry? That was so close of getting damage here. I'm not 100% sure if he has some more damage. Let's have a quick look if he needs to change it. He does not. That was... Oh yeah, he does. He does have to change his front wing, unfortunately for him. Not going out, working out this race at all. He has some issues there. But Huntsman as well on P10 now, very, very close.
That's who I am currently on board with, Warrior. Kirat got past him a few corners ago. Warrior is he's pushing. He is pushing, but in the odd corner he's then giving it a little bit back. So a brilliant little battle between these two for the point currently, but so early doors in this race that anything can happen. Warrior Huntsman's shown that on several occasions of coming back from absolutely nowhere and getting up the pack. Let's have a little look. Otherwise, we're a little bit spaced out in the field. McConey looks like he's very, very close to Mishi Jojo, having obviously had those problems. Let's have a little jump down to their second and see whether or not he's going to make this turn or make the go. Kieran's got a 3-second time penalty. That's the first time penalty I think I've seen. Mishi Jojo stays in front of McConey in that one. There looks like there's been a little bit of a change as we all see the first drivers all coming in for that first pit. 7 laps they've all gone, so a little bit longer, obviously wanting to get as many as they possibly could.
But McConey just overtook Mishi Joy on the long straight here on the exit. He was very, very close. Well done from him, but Crash Gaming, the first who retired.
Oh! Warrior Huntsman has gone sideways. Oh, we're just on board with him. He's completely lost it. He's coming back on the grass. He was side by side. I'm not sure if there was contact. It's allowed space for Link Xavier to jump in to 7th spot. Warrior has just to say come out the pits. So, of course, it wouldn't have took a great deal at all on those cold tyres. A little bit of a nudge here and there on the track, and that's what can happen. Certainly on this track as well, where we know that there's points, a little bit of slippiness still to pit. Big Ben, Sprunky, Kieran, the only person currently with a penalty in the race. He's sat in P6.
Jack so close.
Where is Jack currently?
Jack P5, so close on Tomo tip top.
I'll jump on board with Jack so we can have a little look.
Maybe preparing now here for the long straight. That is the best track position on the track to overtake him, but it's all about the exit here. Tomo tip top is going a little bit wide here. Jack able to get some more speed. Tomotip is going full defense, but Jack very soon have the DRS activated as he does. Is Tomotip? He's going very defensive. He's using a lot of overtake. He defended the inside line, but Jack does a switchback. That was beautiful overtaken by Jack. Beautiful racing from both drivers. No contact and almost. I think he got a warning that Jack, but it was very close on the exit of the last turn. But beautiful overtake from Jack onto Motipto on the pre-ultimate turn here.
Yeah, I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, that was really nice. I think he got the job done. He was good. I think Tomo tipped up because he was so aggressive, maybe broke that little bit later than he could. If he could have kept the inside line, it would have made Jack's life maybe a little bit harder to get around him. But of course, he went in that little bit too quick. Of course, he would have had his DRS open and he'd have been fighting to try and get as much pace as he could going in, but just that slight bit
we
too
can
late
go
in that position.
to Shadow Moody as well straight away. He's on fresh soft tires behind Boris Huntsman in P8, 3/10 just behind him. Boris Huntsman on 2 laps, medium tires. Shadow Moody in a big advantage here. Looks like he has how about his ERS input? He has 80-90% as well to apply here. Very, very well done here from Shadow Moody so far, as I can see. Huntsman struggling a lot, trying to keep him behind, but Shadow Moody is just waiting for this one long straight. As I said, it's the best position on the track to overtake your rival without losing too much time on your cars, on a cars around you. If you want to overtake some more people, let's have a look at Boris Huntsman. If he's using overtake, he is, but he's all the way down to 6% now. Shadow Moody with 76. He's activating ERS and DRS, but he's not going to dive in on Boris Huntsman. But Boris Huntsman, a big yeah, you go ahead.
Sorry, just to jump in, we've just seen Tomo Tip Top set the fastest lap of the race with a 1:35, I believe it was. Just give me 1 second. Let me just quickly build that, bring that back up. Where was fastest lap?
35.0.
1:35.0. While you were speaking, there was a couple of changes in positions, as you've seen. Piero also further down swap places with MUFC Harvey. We're on board with Warrior Huntsman. Where were we? Shadow Moody was just behind Warrior. What was I going to say? I think I forgot. If I'm being honest now, I was going to allude to something. If it comes back to me, I shall let you know. So we're currently on lap 9 of 28 laps. That's through about third of the way ish. We've just seen another little turn. Warrior Huntsman gone on the inside of Shadow Moody. He's after Lig Xavier. We're just looking there. So one stop currently for Kogataz. That's what I was going to talk about. Sorry, it was the tyres. So Kogataz is on hards, and he's obviously going for the one stop as well as McConey. They're 1 and 2 laps through. Sprunky and Big Ben at the front of the pack currently. Let's have a little look. Sorry, see who's having a close racing. We'll jump on board with Shadow while I'm talking about that. So Shadow is obviously going for a little bit of a different strategy. He'll be going for the two stop inevitably. Everybody
easy overtake here.
Do you
for
think?
Him.
Yeah,
yes,
for Shadow.
70% and DRS open as well. Nice. Boris has been no chance of defending. He used all the ERS on the long straight the lap before. Shadow Moody was struggling a little bit on the exit, but I think the difference is the ERS input here and the deployment. And that was smart racing from Shadow Moody. Easily took P8 here.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having a little look at Jack. He's got Kogataz a second in front of him in the Alfa Romeo. Jack, of course, in the Mercedes, trying to push to try and catch him up as much as he can. He is closing slowly but surely, Jack. Now, Jack realistically will be in around second position, proper potentially once Sprunky and Big Ben come in to make their next stops. So realistically, Kogataz with a one stop, if he can keep himself nice and close to the leaders, certainly within a pit's length, then he will currently be sat in the top spot of this race. It'll be very interesting to see where they tuck back in the front two when they change. Now, I'm trying to think if anybody started on mediums. I'm not actually sure if I noticed that. If anybody started on mediums, and if they had, they can go medium, soft, of course, for this, and have a very, very quick final part of the race when, of course, it's light on fuel and optimal conditions. Just on board with Jack, there is a few cars around, and he has made the pass on Big Ben. Well done him. He's in a bit of a sandwich there with... Oh, he's all right. They're both away.
Yes.
They're both away.
He made it. He made it through now. But very, very interesting to see the difference of the ERS here again. This is one of my favorite subjects always to point at, because we see difference of Shadow more going side by side.
Jack's on the mediums. Oh, there's been a connection. Oh, no. That Kogataz on the hards has been in a contact with Jack DNF, who is currently taken probably the first place in this race. He is on the mediums, 3 laps through on the mediums. Lap 11 of 28 will be very interesting to see what he's going to try and do with that realistically. With 3 laps in, it's going to be a long stint on the mediums to try and make them work all the way to the end. So Kogataz still has all the chance in the world. If he keeps his head down, he will have lost a little bit of time there. He will be not happy one bit about that. Didn't look bad from Jack, to be fair, on the stream. We'll obviously have a little look at that incident at some point, I'm sure, at a later date to review. But yeah, it didn't look too bad on the stream. But we can it can sometimes be very different when you get behind the wheel and have this view in the car. So I'm still on board with Jack. As it happens out in the lead, we're going to drop back a little bit because Tomo Tip Top is on the straight behind Big Ben also, who will inevitably get past, or certainly be on the inside of the turn. Will he make it? Yes, nice and comfortable. He's got a great launch, in fact.
As well, just to mention on the side, Piero has not have his best Grand Prix here in China. He did go into the pit and left the session. He retired in the pit lane. Unfortunate for him. I'm not 100% sure what happened. I just saw him as well picking up a penalty, if I'm not mistaken. But unfortunately for him, one of the Mercedes is out of the race. The other one currently in P2. That's not provisional P1? That's still P2.
Who's that? Tomo Tip Top?
The
Tomo
Mercedes, Jack DNF.
Oh, Jack. Yeah, he'll be P1 Sprunky Pits, which he's got probably another few laps yet, maybe a couple of laps on those mediums he might get out of it. Depends what his time's like, to be honest. If he can keep in front for that long, I reckon the lads in behind with those younger tyres will probably get past him soon enough. As you can see, his back end just flip around. Oh, there was a racing point on the side there. Is that Murphy?
That's Murphy. Not too sure if he was just letting people pass him, but
potentially.
Unfortunately, I think he has some troubles. His tires seem very, very hot. He's just spinning around here. Unfortunate for him, he's not been having his personal best Grand Prix in China as well. Maybe he's just parking his car on the side road to cool down his tires. A very good strategy as well. But I think for him it's just about enjoying this view, enjoying the track, because it can be a lot of fun to race in China if you like it.
Oh, I think I enjoy China. I've had a little go. Oh, what a move, by the way. Shut up, Dan. MUFC Harvey has just had a beautiful turn against Missy Joy. That was lovely. Just sunk in front of him as the corner did. Didn't disrupt his line at all, but lovely. Absolutely spot on. So he is now on the straight with two of the McLarens behind them, Michi Jojo and Dat Roland, who of course was very, very unfortunate again with his connection. I'm going to jump up the board a little bit though and jump on the Ferrari and go and have a little look at Sprunky. He's the only Ferrari competing tonight, and he has in his eye line Lynx Aviate, who's 9 laps through on the medium. Sprunky doesn't want to push too hard. Now he's on the harder compound. He's on his first lap and you can easily lose control. Dat Roland jumps in front of his partner at McLaren, Michi Joy into 13th, see whether or not he can eye himself up and get it up into the points. McConey operating the last position of points currently. 6 laps of hards, as you can see on the left hand side. Jack has a 3.3 second lead in front of Tomo Tip Top as we now balance out the leaders of this race. Big Ben in third. He's climbing well. He's done well. He's 12 laps on these mediums, however, and we'll just have to see where he comes out and whether or not he can make a big jump across. He'll be on much fresher tyres towards the end, and whether or not that makes a difference. We shall see. Personally, I think the hards aren't a bad tyre on this at all. I did them personally before, as we're just on board with Sprunky and see him take it the corner from Lynx Aviate. He does indeed take it, turns around the final corner of turn 16 and he goes foot down. He's just gone a little bit deep, however, and he's been taken back by Lynx Aviate. If I look to the left, he's going to be there and goes and chinks back in front. So these two having a little bit of a wrestle here. Big Ben has, of course, jumped into the pits now. He puts his harder compound on and he's going to try and see the rest of the race out with these tyres as well. Few have now jumped onto the harder compound. McConey, Sprunky and Kogataz, as we knew, jumped onto the harder compound, and certainly at this moment in time looks in a strong position to see out the rest of this race. Jack and Tomo Tip Top, we've got to see whether or not they see the rest of the race out. It's doable on the mediums. They might be going for it. But it will certainly be hard. Last few laps certainly to keep any pace, but maybe the job will be done by then.
Talking about tyres as well, very, very interesting strategy here for Kieran. I think, again, we have seen Kieran doing this in a previous race when he just stays out for a long, long time. And I've just noticed that Kieran and Kutas did a strategic Swipperoonie on the long straight. Kugas just let Kieran pass by, trying to reduce the time for his time penalty. But on the other side, if you have a time penalty, you do want to catch the car in front, and currently he's losing some times to Tomo Tip Top. Well, it's just actually jumping around as Sprunky just dive bombed. Well, who did he dive from? Oh yeah, Lynx. He just dived from Lynx, but Lynx just did a beautiful switchback and got the position back. As you said, they're just doing a few battles here. Beautiful to watch. But Kieran might want to think about going into the pit lane very soon. He's maybe just slowing down his teammate in dirt here, just 3 tenths behind him.
So Shadow Moody, he has just gone into the pits also. He swaps out of the softs after 7 laps, and we'll see where he comes out. Warrior Huntsman is 4 seconds in front of McConey, so he's got a little bit of a lead from him. Sprunky we see is only he's less than half a second behind Lynx, has a little bit of a better corner. It's important to keep your speed through that corner. That's turn 6. Turn 6 just going into sweep in 7, 8, 9. So turn 6, you can keep more speed than you think. I know it's quite a tight corner, but you can keep more speed than you think. About half throttle in 2. Some people take it 3 if they're not confident on the throttle, and if they've got traction off. But it is doable to keep a lot more speed through that corner, and I think I've seen a lot of cars today take, and that can be a few tenths every lap if someone knows that and you don't. So it is all a learning curve. We say this every week. Cotton Racing Academy, it's just developed into this superb league, to be honest. Week on week, it seems to be getting better. It is a joy to watch, as we've seen again today so far. There's just things going on all over the place. As I say that, I'm just going to have a quick look at Kieran and Cogatas, because they are also having a little bit of a tussle. Of course, they are both.
Sorry to interrupt, but Sprunky just did the same move again on Lynx, dive bombed at the end of the straight, but that was beautiful. Lynx did another switchback, and they were entering the last ultimate turn side by side, but Sprunky just got a little bit too wide on the exit and picked up a 3 seconds. There should be a 3 seconds time penalty now for him. Yes, it is very unfortunate, but beautiful battles here between Sprunky and Lynx. And Lynx almost lost it. Oh, good catch.
It was a good catch by Lynx.
Oh, God.
He's obviously losing a little bit of traction on those mediums. You normally see it in 12 laps. Yeah, I would have expected him to be coming in around now. Around 12 laps is about the mediums, to get the optimal mediums, let's say, and then there's quicker strategies out and about on the track. Sprunky, in fairness, is only on 2 laps of hards, and you would think he's probably got a little bit more downforce or grip than Lynx, and I think he'll probably get away from him now, in fairness. But that was a good little tussle between them two.
Indeed.
What was I talking about? Can you remember? I can't.
I know. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I think it was something about pit strategy.
Maybe. Yeah, there's
maybe. But if that is
there's
someone gone off again, is it Murphy? I think he's just exploring his Mercedes. If the pink Mercedes is doing as well as the usual Mercedes in lawn mowing. So we do know from Bottas that as a experienced rally racer that he can also go in Austria on the grass and doing some lawn cutting there. But how about the pink Mercedes? We will find out after the race when we ask Murphy how it went.
Yeah, so I am having a little look on Shadow Moody, just seeing him. Sorry, no I won't, because there's been some changes, because Kieran has now come into the pits. He is 16 laps on the mediums. We said he had to come in at some point, obviously just trying to keep as much fresh air as possible and not get involved with other cars, but he is getting the pits, and he's going to change to hards also to try and see the race out. So a lot still not on that part of the race as yet. We are halfway, beyond halfway, of this race now. 3 laps beyond halfway, as Shadow Moody sets the fastest lap of the session at 1:34.6, and I've just said he's on fresh medium, so that would make perfect sense at this stage in the race. He's just shy of a second behind Lynx, Aviate, Kieran in front of them, only 5 seconds, but of course has penalties, as we know, and we'll have a little closer look at penalties later on to see if there's any more than just the one. I believe they're all on just the one. Jack, we're going to have a little look up to the top, see how Jack is getting on, and give him a shout out. So well done, Jack. Dunf or DNF. He's done well so far. Qualified well today. Takes as much of that corner as he dare do. Very, very cautious, getting himself back up to speed. But he can afford that at this time of the race. I think if he doesn't push, sometimes just keeping it nice and smooth is the way to stay fast. That consistency of just relaxing around a track. Sometimes getting out in front is a nice feeling. As we see, I believe. He's not done it again. I think he did. McCorney's left the session. What happened with McCorney? McCorney, no. He's on a ghosty, but he's going round his turn, just getting back involved. It looked like there might have been a Haas of a problem. Where is the Haas? He is having a spinneroo. It is Matt Warner. Warrior Huntsman has a 5-second penalty. Oh, Warrior for spinning in the Huntsman.
Spinning in a Huntsman.
he was pit laning inside the Warrior, and now he's getting some Huntsmans changed in the pits. So he obviously drops positions, but he's on fresher tyres. Plenty of the race still to go. Jumping on board with Kieran, who is also on fresh hard compound. He's in 7th currently with Big Ben in front. Big Ben doing well. Let's have a little look at Let's have a look. penalties. All have 3 seconds apart from Warrior in 10th position. He has 5-second penalty. So thankfully they have been a lot less today, which is good. All of the top 7 drivers currently have only got 1 stop. As we see the ghosted car of McConey and the Haas of Big Ben tussling away. Thankfully not genuinely tussling away, but we hope to get McConey back in this race ASAP. Don't want him to have to suffer as a result of doing so well earlier on in this race. Sprunky in 4th position, 9 seconds. Kogatas in 3rd, 7 seconds. Tomo Tip Top 5.9, so nearly 6 seconds, and Jack at the head of affairs. So big gaps at the front. Some wrestling going on a little bit further down, so we'll go and have a little look further down the field.
Oh my god, that was so close.
Talk to me, what happened?
Oh my god, when McConey went back into the game, the car just jumped backwards, maybe around 2 car positions in front of Kieran, but luckily he didn't touch Kieran at all. So good to have him back. Good to have you back, McConey. As we have, I was about to say Kutas closing up to Jack, but this is just another scoreboard jumping around, as we do like to experience this usually at the beginning of the race. But good to have McConey back. And another, I think Murphy exploring the outside world again. Yeah, he is. He decided to have a look into a different area of the track, and there's some grass as well.
I don't have any problem. Now he knows that he's not in the race. If he wants to take the corners flat out and see just how fast he can take them in race conditions, that is again what it's for. We don't want anyone risking anybody else's race. Certainly don't want any crashes of someone messing around and causing a safety car and ruining other people who've developed a big gap. So as long as, of course, he doesn't completely wreck the car, but he's jumping in the pits now, I think, anyway.
Yeah, he is.
So we'll see whether or not he...
If you want to... So an advice for all of you guys, if you do want to know if a Formula 1 car can drift, go into a race, get last, and then just mess around.
just go as fast as you can around the 90 angle. I'm sure he isn't. Of course, Murphy being one of the lobby hosts and close connections with all of the admin staff at Cone, so we know that he's a sensible enough lad. Most of the time, I have the pleasure of knowing him personally, so I can also vouch for him being an idiot as well. Don't
we all?
So we see Kieran just dive in front of the Haas of Big Ben. He sits in behind him, only 3/10 behind though, not far. Will he be able to open up the DRS? He takes us a lot of the curb, but it doesn't matter. All 3 of them are in a little bit of a chain with Kieran.
Interesting battle now as well. We have McConey, Ben and Kieran all together fighting for P5 here. 8 laps to go. Kieran needs to try to break away. McConey has a tire disadvantage of 13 laps. He's hard combat tire. Was close of losing a car here as well on the exit, but it's going to be interesting. Will he be able to stick with them? Oh, he went very deep. He as well almost touched Ben in front of him, but just tried to stick to him. Ben not able to close the gap to Kieran. Kieran currently the fastest of the trio. Let's see how they evolve over the next couple of laps. But we have another one, and this time it is who's it? It's Kogutas? It is Kogutas!
No.
Kogutas went off. He went off and decided to join Murphy. I think that is traction.
He's lost some traction with it. It's turned 13 just before the long straight in the DRS. I said before that you can lose it really easy. I tell you what he probably did there, catching the inside curb. When you're going downhill, of course you haven't got the same downforce. You've got no grip.
Yeah.
And of course as soon as you touch that curb, hey. And I think that maybe would have been what he's just experienced having in 12 laps. I mean, 12 laps hard isn't a problem. I think he probably... Oh, he's decided to though. I thought he would have maybe still seen it out. Maybe he picked up a little bit of damage in there. But Coggett has made the decision to jump in now, stick some softs on. It's the right time of the race, by the way, to pop some softs on. And you know, it's about 7 laps he'll get out of them. Hopefully there's no slopes, or maybe there is a slope. Maybe that's exactly what he needs for a safety car to come out, let him jump back up with the fresh softs on. But I'm sure he wouldn't be the only one that did so. McConey on 14 laps of hard. He has Big Ben in his eyesight. I think he'll probably try and stay on, if I'm being honest. He won't want to come in and pit at all and see this out. And Murphy is retired from the
virtual safety car.
Oh,
it is a virtual safety car.
Is it a full retire? It's a virtual. Ooh, steady. So there was nearly contact, as we saw in turn 6. Very common. These two Renaults have been having a great little battle. Missy Joy, I have just seen that. Oh, indeed. Drive-through penalty going into the pits. That isn't going to do him any favours in 14th place. He's 33 seconds behind as well. So in fairness, probably points shouldn't be on the menu at the moment, as long as it is only a virtual safety car and not a full
There's Mercedes in the pit lane. Jack pitted. He's going onto the soft tires, and he has a 29 seconds lead. That's a very good decision. Jack currently looking the strongest.
So Jack's, of course, gone on the two-stop strategy. Thinks that he would get more pace, doing it that way for the soft, medium. Soft, I think he's gone in the end. Did he? Or soft?
He's on the soft.
Was he medium soft? Or did he start? Jack might have started on medium. You know, I think at one point I looked. I'm pretty sure he was the only one that was setting a time on medium at one point.
Soft, medium, soft.
Third. Yeah, he was third or fourth on mediums. So he's gone medium soft, medium soft, presumably. And now he's seeing the rest of the race out. Either way, he is on an absolute journey now. He can relax, should be able to relax with those fresh kicks and see himself out to the end. However, the boots have 8 laps on. If you belong to Sprunky, 6 seconds behind. He's got a massive ask to get anywhere near Jack. Another yellow flag we see. And McLaren this time. Is it Missy Joy? Is it Dat Roland? Well, it's not Dat Roland. So I'm afraid Missy Joy's had a problem in turn 3 or 4. And as we see there, he is on the grass. Unfortunate for him. This is a slippy track. I said it at the start. I've said it through the race. You can slip around on this track very, very, very easily. And there's multiple points that can be the case. I read something today about Rosberg.
Tomo Tip-Top has a good chance right now.
Yeah, I'm just sat on board with Tomo Tip-Top. Yeah, okay, he's perfect. Behind Sprunky. Yeah, he's just about to launch it straight. And
that was
Sprunky
close.
Just looked like he held back a little bit. I don't know why, because Tomo's going to be well away with the DRS now. I read something with was it Magnussen and Rosberg, and one of them described this track as very difficult to overtake, whereas the other one described it as fantastic to overtake. So, when you've got two Formula 1 drivers as professionals that, of something as basic as that completely different opinion, you can see why it suits certain drivers and their method, the methodology of driving, really. Some people like to be aggressive, some people like the long sweeping corners, the Sochi-type corners in places where you can go long, wavy-type corners. Some people love them, and some people like the Bakus of, the big hard brake and tight corners, and some of the technical tracks like Singapore and etc.
And some do well, just like Monaco and Singapore, all the tracks, and Vietnam, all the tracks with having the.
I love Monaco. Love Monaco. The only reason Monaco, if it doesn't rain and it's a beautiful boiling hot day and nobody else is on the track and it's a practice session, I love Monaco. It's fantastic.
I absolutely agree.
When I'm playing on my own, what a track to drive it is. It's beautiful. But I'm talking over the fact that Kogataz, I'm pretty sure, is just stuck in a fastest lap with his fresh kicks on. Also, he is in P10 with those softs. What can he do with 5 laps to go? I'm certain that he'll certainly have his eyes on Warrior Huntsman. In front of him, nearly 5 seconds though behind him, second a lap to make up on the soft to medium. I'm not sure the difference is going to be that. So that's a big one. But of course, Warrior does have penalties. So is that going to make a difference? We shall see. Shadow Moody is just
another
behind him.
Yellow flag. Someone retired in the pit lane. I think it's Missy Joy. Yeah, he is. Okay, good.
Thank you for retiring in the pitch, Missy. Spot on. Hasn't been your day, mate, but
that is always much appreciated.
Well, there's always another next week, of course.
Of course.
Round 11, we'll get into that in a bit, though. Because we can see that there's a big string of 5 cars. And Shadow goes for a deep braking zone there. Tries to go around the back. Of course, doesn't get the same launch. He's got Lynx Aviator in front of him. McConey just in front of him. Big Ben just in front of him. I'm going to have a little look at the whole track. Look at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the 2 Renaults at the back of this little train going on from 4th to 8th position. This is hotting up to be a superb last 4 laps, by the way. I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully,
very
we'll
exciting. Definitely. McConey in the middle as well, following Ben. Missy Jojo left at the same time. Matt Warner's in front of him as well. Blue flag, and Missy Jojo as well. Same position. He retired, I think. What happened? I didn't see anything. thing.
That was just the McLaren. Just the McLaren.
Okay.
It just pointed on the track. I just saw it in my periphery, and I thought it was someone fresh, a fresh spin. So I was trying to fathom out who it was.
That is alright. Dead Roland as well picked up another 3 seconds time penalty. Unfortunate race for him with all the disconnection issues as well. But before we will see some exciting overtakes here on a long straight, which we are about to approach now, just a welcome as well and a quick update from YouTube, from the chat as well. Jack and Brandon, welcome guys. It's lovely to have you here. I'm very, very happy to see that you find this interesting. We do this every time. This is the CRA, the Cone Racing Lead Academy tier, and we also have 2 more tiers which are also racing on Thursday. If you do enjoy this, have a look into our Thursday races as well, where we have tier 2 and tier 1 racing each other in Netherlands this week.
Yeah, absolutely superb. Yeah, great shout. Well. Thank you for saying that. I think it's a great shout. People who watch the streams and have a little watch of the races at CRL, of course you can become involved if you like to, as Steinschlag has just of course mentioned, to the T perfectly explained how to get involved, get on. There's so many online media outlets now, and you know, you can literally find us on pretty much all of them really now. So have a little look for the Cone Racing League if you want to get involved. Of course, make yourself known even on the YouTube. Make a little note on the YouTube, and we'll get in touch and we'll get you involved. Lynx Aviators just took a lovely bit of chunk of that corner. He's given himself a 3-second time penalty. Still on board with him, so he's given himself a penalty. With the cars in and around close, that could bear an effect. Can you have a little look at the penalties and just make sure there's nobody else on more than 3? Last time I checked, I think
that was close.
There was 1 on 5-second penalty, but they may have served it in the pits. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, Lynx has 3 seconds, Horace Huntsman is 5. Everyone else is on 3 as well.
Yeah, Warrior, that was the speed in the pit lane, I believe. So he got the 5 seconds for that. He's now 7 seconds behind Shadow, so that might be too much with 2 laps to go. Where we do need to focus our eyes, pardon me, I think I've just burped, on a stream. To focus our eyes is the little battle between 6th and 10th. Looks absolutely class. There's plenty of cars around. That's Big Ben in front of McConey in 6th position. Behind, we can see the changing of the Renaults and a little battle behind. Shadow Moody going deep. Lynx Aviator just tucking in behind, so we see the 2 of them wrestling each other as well. He didn't take as much corner as he probably would have liked to, that McConey, and did lose a little bit of pace on Big Ben. He's got DRS though, but whether or not that last turn just cost him the chance of getting on his inside before the corner, and has done. We'll look back behind. Can't see the 2 Renaults. There we see them flying up into the back of McConey, both looking to try and chop and change position. Lynx looking at the right angle to try and undercut Shadow. Shadow takes it quite tight, and you just see Lynx just lose the back end ever so slightly. Tiny little wobble, and of course if I jump down to Shadow, you can see how much space that causes. But of course Lynx has a good turn. Shadow goes wide, and there they are again, 7 and 8, close to each other. And now you can probably tell why these are chopping and changing position. Lynx of course with a little bit pardon me, a little bit lesser tyre degradation, and should
also
have
the time penalty.
Decent chance. Yes, of course. Yeah, there is the time penalty of Lynx Aviate. Hard to see. And MUFC Harvey is a DNF. Hopefully that wasn't on the track anywhere.
He's in the pits.
He is in the pits.
Yeah.
So that is a big shame for MUFC Harvey as well.
Oh, Lynx preparing. He's preparing his exit. He's struggling a little bit, Lynx,
just a
but
bit late on the. He was just a bit late on it, wasn't he? Just a little bit late.
He was preparing the line well, but he was a little bit late on the throttle input. At the moment, no further changes on P5. Ben, very well done to him. He's keeping his P5 position as for now. At the front, we have no further changes. Jack, absolute smashing it here in China today. He is at 12.3 seconds ahead of P2. Let's have a quick look at some position changes. Jack started in P4, but the person who overtook the most people is Kieran, again with 14 positions up to P4. What an incredible drive. But also Ben, I remember he had some issues at the start. I think that was in qualifying, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't he start on P7?
So did Kieran. It was Kieran and Big Ben. So 4th and 5th in your race currently. I'm pretty sure They started
Yeah.
right at the very bottom, didn't they? 18th and 17th and 18th?
Yeah, I can see it as well. Ben, 12 positions improvement in the entire race here. Just bring it home, Ben, now with an absolute amazing performance so far. Defend your P5 very, very close here. Still, everyone is still close together. Absolute, astonishing, and very interesting race here. As we have Harvey now retiring as well, but
that
that
was
was
leaving
in
the session. Yeah, he's
he
already
was
gone. He's just leaving the session. Jack out and out in front, just jumping on board. He's sweeping round into turn 4 currently. Nobody else is anywhere near. Second place, Tomo Tip Top is on the opening straight. Jumping back to Sprunky and Kieran. They are further back still, just as we can see Kieran just going onto the opening straight now, just starting it. Further down we see the battle continues. The two Renaults, Shadow Moody, changing spots with Lynx Aviate. They're going to go side by side towards the last corner. Are they going to respect each other? The constructors do. Lynx Aviate comes out on top, and I think Shadow's going to have DRS, and he does. He's sat behind his partner. Does he go for the inside? Do not contact each other, lads. Not at this stage of the race. I think
leaving each other a lot of space in very fair racing, but he's diving back in. They're going switchback. Shadow Modi went around the inside of turn 2. It is now turn 1, 2.
Lynx trying to get back on his inside again. These two
exciting racing.
Superb. It's very nice to see that these still are both trying to push each other, even at this stage of the race. Not content,
even though they're in the
same
team as
constructor points, but they will get good constructor points today. But sadly for Renault, in the grand scheme of things, aren't really in with a shout at this stage of the season, with only unfortunately one race to go for them. Anyway, of course, there's 2 left with the other tiers, tier 2 and tier 1, as you mentioned before. Obviously the aspiration, the fast ones. It looks like we've had a problem in the middle of tier. Yeah, who's that? That is Kogataz, and he is currently sat in P10. He's on 6 laps of soft. He's starting to lose a bit of grip with them softs. He just needs to get it around the final lap. And we've seen Jack already finish. That last couple of laps finished so fast. Jack has finished. He has won the Chinese Grand Prix, race 10 of the Cone Racing Academy's second last race, penultimate race of the season. Tomo Tip Top comes into second place. Sprunky and Kieran occupy 3rd and 4th. We're going to see Big Ben with the string of cars behind him. They should assume the same positions, unless Kieran, of course, had a big enough time penalty for someone to change positions. No, they didn't. So Big Ben goes into 5th. Shadow Moody, 6th. There was a little bit of change of positions. Lynx Aviate in 7th. McConey, he is in 8th. Warrior with his penalties, he's dropped right down. He went in P9. Dat Roland, is he going to get the final position today, or is Kogataz going to manage to do it? Is he close enough? Kogataz, of course, only a second behind with Dat Roland with penalties. So you would imagine Kogataz jumps and gets the final point, and does so. He goes into P10. And there was another little change for P11 and P12 there. I think it might have been Dat Roland that's dropped a slight bit further still, just because of those penalties. What a race. What an absolute race that was. Superb. What a joy that was to watch from start to finish.
Indeed. After 2 weeks of break.
Unbelievable. After that little bit of a break, and can I just wish everyone a very happy Christmas and New Year. I realised that should have been right at the very, very start of the show, and I was that eager to get jumped on the stream that I just forgot to say it. So, but maybe I've been too drunk for too long, and now I'm just finally sobering up over the Christmas period. What a race to come back to. The Chinese Grand Prix did not disappoint. I know that when they were talking about tracks, some insider knowledge tracks, when we were talking about tracks, I know China didn't get a great rep, and how on earth can it not get a great rep when we have just watched that type of race, side-to-side racing all over the place? Jack gets fastest lap and comes in at P1 with a 132.5. Well done him. Tomo Tip Top, a Red Bull, comes in second. Sprunky comes in third. Kieran 4th. Big Ben in the Haas, he comes in 5th. He is in second position. Warrior Huntsman only can get 9th, who is in the top of the Pops currently, so there may be a little bit of a change at the top of the championship. It looks like Big Ben might be our current championship leader heading in towards the last. Shadow Moody in P6, Lynx Aviate in 7, McConey and the Williams in 8. He's pretty solid, getting himself points most of the time. Warrior Huntsman in 9, and Kogataz, he would have expected more of himself today, if we're all honest with ourselves, and if he's honest, he would have certainly expected to not be in P10, but does manage to sneak the last point. So,
What a race!
You know, it goes without. Well, I've got to ask who would be your driver of the day? Who would you give it to today?
Why would you put me into the position having to answer the question first? Because it's such a difficult answer, answer. I much appreciate that. But before I answer the question, I just want to give a quick shout out again to everyone still watching the stream. It is much appreciated, everyone supporting each other. Nathan is supporting for obviously his teammate Jack into pole position, very strong one. We have as well a nice commentary here from DC as well towards us. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you very much, DC. And Jack as well, Sprunky as well. Whew, what a race, what a breather. That was absolutely amazing to be part of it. I think my personal driver of the day needs to be Jack. That was outstanding performance, but very, very close as well behind that Kieran from P18 together with Ben P17 all the way to P4 and 5. Strong decision, but I go for Jack.
Superb. I agree entirely. I think Jack did enough today to warrant it. Pushed hard start to finish, got what he deserved. He's been looking for that win, and he gets his win. So fair play to Jack DNF. Here's your winner of round 10 of the Cone Racing League. Join us next Monday. We will have race 11, the final race of the season. As you've just seen, Big Ben and Warrior Huntsman might have traded places at the top of the championship. We will soon see once we get the final results in. Hope to see you all next week. Thank you so much for watching as usual, and yes, we shall see you at Yas Marina for the final race of the season. If you've just watched that, I'm sure you will not want to miss it. Thank you very much, Steiny, and thank you to everyone. Take care.
No, thank you very much again, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.
Next time. Cheers.